Most of the people who disturb your peace are not villains. They are ordinary human beings, acting from fear, vanity, ignorance, or pain. And they will not stop just because you finally learned how to breathe calmly. Here is the promise. In the next few minutes, you will learn how the Stoics met difficult people without becoming like them, how they kept their dignity without needing to win, and how you can turn every irritating encounter into a form of training that leaves you freer than you were before. The first hard truth is this: you cannot control whether people are rude, manipulative, inconsiderate, or unfair. Not with logic, not with kindness, not with perfect phrasing. The Stoics began where we often refuse to begin, by admitting that the world includes difficult people the way the sea includes storms. The question is not how to remove the storms. The question is what kind of sailor you become when the wind turns against you. Sit with the deeper reflection for a moment. When someone gets under your skin, what exactly is happening? Your body tightens, your thoughts speed up, your imagination starts writing a story. They're disrespecting me. They always do this. I have to fix it. I have to defend myself. To the Stoics, the event is not the injury. The judgment is. Epictetus would say, what hurts you is not what they did, but what you decided it meant. The insult is sound in the air. The wound is your interpretation, accepted too quickly, held too tightly. Now bring it into modern life. A coworker interrupts you in a meeting, takes credit, smiles as if nothing happened. You feel heat rise in your chest. If you act from that heat, you become predictable. Sarcasm, retaliation, gossip, passive aggression. And the difficult person suddenly has two allies, your impulse and your attention. The Stoic move is quieter. Before speaking, you ask one question. What is mine to govern here? You can govern your tone, your timing, your evidence, your next action. You cannot govern their character. The reversal is startling. The moment you stop trying to control their nature, you regain control of yours. Another hard truth. Some people are difficult not because they are strong, but because they are untrained. They react as reflex. They can't tolerate being wrong, so they attack. They can't tolerate discomfort, so they blame. And if you expect from them what they cannot yet give, you will keep paying for your expectation with your serenity. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself, not as a lecture, but as a survival note. Today, you will meet the intrusive, the ungrateful, the arrogant, the dishonest. He wasn't being pessimistic, he was being prepared. The deeper reflection is uncomfortable. Your anger often contains a hidden demand that reality should have been kinder to you. Anger says, this should not be happening, but the universe does not sign contracts. Stoicism is not the deadening of emotion. It is the refusal to let emotion appoint itself as your ruler. The mind is allowed to feel the first sting, but it is not allowed to surrender its throne. Consider a practical example you may recognize. A family member needles you with jokes that are not jokes. You rehearse speeches in your head on the drive over. You arrive already wounded. The Stoic approach begins earlier than the argument. It begins with setting your intention. I will not trade my peace for the chance to correct a person who is not listening. That does not mean you accept mistreatment. It means you choose your boundary without the theater of rage. You can redirect the conversation, leave the room, shorten the visit, or later speak privately and plainly. The reversal here is sharp. Boundaries are not walls built from hostility. They are doors operated by self-respect. A third hard truth: wanting to be seen as reasonable can make you a prisoner. Difficult people often thrive on reaction. They pull you into proving, explaining, defending until your day belongs to their mood. Seneca warned about this without using modern words. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. The difficult person does one thing. Your mind does 10. The Stoic discipline is to stop donating mental real estate to someone who pays no rent. Deep reflection again. What would it mean to be unbribable? To be a person whose virtue is not for sale at the price of an insult, whose self-worth is not negotiated in comments and tones. Stoicism calls this freedom, and it has very little to do with external circumstances. Freedom is the ability to choose your response with clarity. It is the ability to pause at the edge of the impulse and decide, I will not become the kind of person I dislike merely because I met them. Now, a modern life example, plain and close. You're on social media and someone mocks you publicly. Your finger hovers over the reply. The Stoic doesn't pretend the urge isn't there. He sees it as data. My ego wants a win. Then he asks, what outcome do I truly want? If it is peace, the best reply may be none. If it is truth, the best reply may be brief, calm, and without humiliation. The reversal is almost humorous. Silence can be a form of strength when it is chosen, not feared. If this way of thinking is useful, take a quiet moment now to subscribe, and leave a thoughtful comment about the most difficult kind of person in your life. Not to shame them, but to name the challenge you want to meet with more steadiness. And now we move into the second half of the journey, where the question is no longer how to endure difficult people, but how to use them without malice as training for a better mind. The next hard truth is the one we avoid the most. The difficult person is not only outside you. They have an echo inside you. If someone's arrogance enrages you, look carefully. Is it because you fear being overlooked? If someone's criticism devastates you, is it because your self-image is fragile? The Stoics did not use other people as scapegoats for inner chaos. They used other people as mirrors, not to blame themselves, but to learn where they still cling. A deeper reflection follows. Every time you meet provocation, you are standing at a crossroads between two identities. One path is the old self, reactive, hungry for vindication, convinced that dignity must be defended loudly. The other path is the self you claim you want, steady, precise, able to act without being dragged. Stoicism is the practice of choosing the second path so often that it becomes natural. Virtue in this tradition is not a medal. It is a habit. Now, a practical example from daily pressure. A boss speaks to you with contempt. The Stoic does not confuse calmness with compliance. He separates two things, the manner and the matter. The manner may be unacceptable. The matter may still contain useful information. You can take what is useful and refuse what is degrading. You might respond with a simple sentence that protects your dignity without escalating. I want to address this, and I can do it best if we keep the conversation respectful. If it continues, you document, you seek allies, you plan your exit if needed. The reversal here is liberating. Stoicism is not staying where you are harmed. It is refusing to be harmed in your soul while you choose your next move. Another hard truth, you will never persuade certain people by showing them your pain. Some people interpret your emotional display as weakness, not as humanity. If you make your peace dependent on their understanding, you hand them power they will misuse. The Stoics preferred a harder, cleaner dignity. Let your actions, not your agitation, testify to your character. Reflect more deeply. What is the true injury in dealing with difficult people? Often it is not what they do, but what they invite you to become. Petty, dishonest, cruel, performative. The Stoic aim is to keep the inner citadel intact. Marcus wrote about guarding the ruling faculty, the part of you that chooses, that assents, that says yes or no to a thought. The difficult person knocks on the gate with an insult. You do not have to open it. Now, an example that reaches into the most intimate space. Someone you love disappoints you repeatedly. They promise, they forget, they excuse, they repeat. Here, Stoicism offers a reversal that feels almost like grief. You may need to let go, not of the person, but of the fantasy of who they would be if they finally became easier. To see them clearly is not to harden your heart. It is to stop bargaining with reality. From that clarity, you choose. Accept with limits, confront with calm, or step back. In all cases, you stop asking them to supply the inner security you must build yourself. A final hard truth before we close: your life will be filled with friction, because your life is filled with people. If you wait for everyone to behave well before you practice peace, you will postpone peace forever. The Stoics did not look for a quiet world. They built a quiet center. So hold this deep reflection. You are not here to win every exchange. You are here to live well. And living well, in the Stoic sense, means refusing to abandon your principles in the presence of provocation. It means meeting impatience with patience, not as a performance, but as a form of self-command. It means speaking truth without hatred, setting boundaries without contempt, leaving without drama when leaving is wise. It means remembering that another person's disorder does not have to become your own. And here is the last practical image to carry with you. Imagine difficult people as weight on a barbell. The weight is not pleasant, it is not fair, but it can make you stronger if you lift it with good form. Good form is the pause before the reaction. Good form is choosing the response you respect even when no one applauds it. Good form is protecting your character the way you would protect someone you love. Because in the end, the person you are most responsible for is not the one challenging you. It is the one you become while you answer.